There is actually a single object in your own kitchen at home that knows more about your own wealth, than your bank app on your phone actually does at any point in time. The bank app on your phone actually shows you what you have in your accounts today. The single object in your kitchen at home actually shows you who you really are deep down today. The single object in your own kitchen at home is actually your refrigerator at this moment today. You actually open the refrigerator door at home and stand there for 30 seconds at the appliance. You actually look at the top shelf of the refrigerator at home for a moment in time today. You actually look at the door of the refrigerator with all of the condiments stored on it today. You actually look at the produce drawer at the bottom of the refrigerator at home today. You actually look at what is in the back of the refrigerator behind everything else at home today. The refrigerator does not actually lie to you at any point in time about what is inside it. The refrigerator cannot actually perform for you at any point in time in your daily life today. The refrigerator is actually the most honest financial document in your entire house at home today. What is on those shelves was actually placed there by every decision about money in 6 weeks. Every single grocery run you actually made and every single late-night order you actually placed today. Every single meal you actually cooked at home, and every single meal you actually did not cook today. Every single product that you actually bought because the brand caught your eye in the store today. Every single product that you actually bought because the product was the cheapest option available today. Every single product that you actually bought because someone in a video told you it was healthier. The refrigerator at home actually holds all of these decisions inside of it on the shelves today. The refrigerator actually remembers all of the decisions you made about money in the past 6 weeks. Wealth at every level of life actually has a specific refrigerator that gives that wealth away today. Most people in the world actually never look at their refrigerator as a financial document at home. They actually look at the refrigerator only as a place where the food lives in the kitchen. The food in your refrigerator is actually itself the financial document in your house today. The food itself is actually the report card on your money decisions in the last 6 weeks. The food itself is actually the slow accidental autobiography of your relationship with money in life today. This is actually what every level of wealth looks like when you stop looking at the bank account and start looking at the specific shelf where the milk actually lives in your refrigerator today. Every level of wealth from level 1 to level 7 actually has a different fridge that tells a story. You actually open the refrigerator door at home at this current point in time today. The light bulb inside the refrigerator is actually dim because the bulb has been out for 3 weeks. And replacing the bulb has actually not made the list of priorities at any point in time today. The shelves of the refrigerator are actually mostly empty in the way that announces the emptiness loudly. There is actually a half gallon of generic milk on the very top shelf of the refrigerator today. There is actually a stick of butter or what is left of one in a small dish on the shelf. There are actually 3 condiments on the door of the refrigerator at home at this moment today. All of the condiments are actually gifted from the prior tenant of the apartment where you live today. All of the condiments are actually past their suggested date in ways you have stopped noticing today. The middle shelf is actually a bag of bread and a package of sliced cheese still in plastic. And a foam tray of chicken thighs that you actually bought because they were marked down today, marked down with a yellow sticker on the package at the discount section of the grocery store today. The bottom shelf of the refrigerator at home is actually completely empty at this moment today. The produce drawers in the refrigerator have actually absolutely nothing in them at this moment in time. Or the produce drawer actually has a single lemon that has hardened into something you will throw out. You will actually throw it away eventually with a small private guilt at the time of disposal. This refrigerator is actually not a poor refrigerator at all in any meaningful way at home today. This refrigerator is actually a defensive refrigerator at this current point in time in your life today. Every single item on these refrigerator shelves was actually acquired with a calculation in your mind today. Every single item on the shelves was actually the cheapest version of itself in the entire store. Every single item on the shelves is actually bought in the quantities that you can use within a week, because the storage of food beyond a week is actually a luxury that you cannot fund yet today. You actually shop on Sunday at the grocery store every single week at this point in your life. You actually shop at the grocery store with a list of items written out beforehand at home today. The shopping list is actually the budget itself at this current point in time in your life today. The budget itself does not actually flex at any point in time during your daily life today. The freezer attached to the refrigerator is actually more revealing than the main compartment is today. The freezer actually holds the things that you actually bought on sale and have not yet eaten today. A single bag of frozen vegetables and a frozen pizza that you bought for an exhausted night today. A night when you knew that you actually would not have the energy to cook a real meal. 2 ice trays in the freezer, and actually nothing else at all in any meaningful way today. The freezer at this level of wealth is actually not a place where you store abundance at home today. The freezer at this level of wealth is actually a place where you preserve the sale at home today. What this refrigerator says about you is that you are actually running an efficient, exhausting operation. You are actually not failing at all in any meaningful way at this point in your life today. You are actually surviving with enormous discipline at this point in time in your daily life today. The discipline that you are showing every single day is actually enormous in its scope today. The world around you actually does not see the discipline at any point in time in your daily life. The world only actually sees the empty refrigerator if the world ever actually opens it at all. The world has not actually opened it because you have not invited anyone over in over a year today. You actually open the refrigerator door at home at this current point in time today. The light inside the refrigerator actually works properly at this point in your life going forward today. The shelves inside the refrigerator at home are actually not empty at this current point in time. The shelves are actually also not full at this current point in time in your daily life today. The shelves inside the refrigerator are actually functional at this current point in time at home today. The functionality itself is actually a kind of small triumph that you have stopped noticing today. The top shelf of the refrigerator actually has a full gallon of milk that is real name brand milk, the kind of milk you actually wanted instead of the cheapest milk on the shelf at the store today. Next to the name brand milk on the top shelf is actually a 6-pack of yogurt containers. The regular kind of yogurt, not the small fancy ones at the store at this point in your life today. There is actually a tub of margarine on the top shelf of the refrigerator at home today. There is also a half-used jar of pasta sauce that has been properly resealed on the top shelf. The middle shelf of the refrigerator at home has actually lunch meat in real deli wrap paper, sliced cheese in resealable packaging at home for sandwich making in your daily life today at home, and a small bottle of dressing that you actually bought because you wanted to start eating salads on weekdays at home for lunch at the kitchen table during your work week going forward today. The produce drawers inside the refrigerator at home actually have real produce in them at this point. A bag of baby carrots at home and a single bell pepper and 2 onions in the produce drawer. The fruit drawer inside the refrigerator actually has apples in it with 3 of them in total, and a small clamshell container of berries that will be gone within 48 hours of today. The berries inside the clamshell container were actually worth the $4 at the time of purchase. The condiment door of the refrigerator actually has condiments on it that you actually use today. The hot sauce on the door and the ketchup on the door and the soy sauce and the mustard. The condiments at this level of wealth actually appear in your daily life because you bought them yourself. The freezer attached to the refrigerator at home actually holds real things at this point in life. A bag of chicken breasts that you actually bought in bulk on a sale at the grocery store today. A box of frozen waffles in the freezer at home and a pint of ice cream in the freezer. A pint of ice cream that you actually do not eat very often at any point in your daily life. Because eating the ice cream often was something that you actually had to learn to control today, once the ice cream was actually always available to you in the freezer at home every single day. The pint of ice cream has actually been in the freezer for 3 weeks at this point in time. The act of control is actually the difference between level 1 and level 2 of wealth at home today. At level 1 of wealth, the ice cream was actually not in the freezer because you could not afford it. At level 2 of wealth, the ice cream is actually in the freezer but you actually choose not to open it. On most of the nights of the week at home in the kitchen at this current point today, the discipline itself has actually shifted from involuntary to chosen at this current point in your life. This refrigerator at home actually says that you have arrived at the floor of a different kind of life. The floor itself is actually not luxurious at this current point in time at home today. The floor of a different kind of life is actually no longer the ceiling at this point today. There is actually a margin in this refrigerator at home at this current point in time in life today. The margin that exists is actually what wealth at this stage of life actually feels like today. The wealth at this stage is actually not abundance at all in any meaningful way at this point. The wealth at this stage of your life is actually just margin in your daily life at home today, just margin and nothing actually more than just margin at this current point in your life today. You actually open the refrigerator door at home at this current point in time today. The refrigerator at home is actually large in size at this point in your life going forward today. The refrigerator at home is actually organized at this current point in time in your daily life. The refrigerator at home actually has features that you did not know existed before this point today. There is actually a separate drawer at eye level that maintains a slightly cooler temperature for items, for cheeses and deli items in the refrigerator at home at this current point in your life today. You did not actually know that refrigerators had this kind of feature until you bought this one. Now you actually have very specific opinions about the cooler drawer feature on the refrigerator today. The top shelf of the refrigerator actually has a container of cold-pressed orange juice on it today. A container of orange juice that actually costs more than the gallon of milk did at level 2 in life. There is actually a glass jar of homemade granola at home on the top shelf of the refrigerator. A small dish of farmer's market eggs at home on the top shelf at this current point in time. A bottle of sparkling water in a particular flavor that you would have called pretentious 5 years ago. At level 1 of wealth in your life when you actually could not afford the bottle of sparkling water. The eggs in the dish on the top shelf of the refrigerator are actually certified organic eggs. The granola was actually made by a specific person whose name you actually know personally today. The water in the bottle on the top shelf actually has cucumber slices inside of it today. The middle shelf of the refrigerator actually has the new staples of your daily life on it now. A wedge of real Parmesan cheese on the middle shelf at home, and not the green can kind of cheese. A small jar of olives preserved in oil at home on the middle shelf at this current point today. A container of pre-chopped salad mix from the kind of store where the manager is a curator today. A bottle of dressing that was actually made by a small company that you discovered through a podcast. The dressing on the middle shelf of the refrigerator at home actually cost $9 at the time. You do not actually feel the $9 in any meaningful way at this current point in time today. The not feeling it of the $9 is actually the entire point of this level of wealth today. The produce drawer of the refrigerator actually holds variety at this current point in your life today. 3 different kinds of leafy greens in the produce drawer of the refrigerator at home today, avocados in the produce drawer and mushrooms in the produce drawer at this point in your life today. Berries that you actually bought because you wanted them and not because they were on sale today. 2 fresh lemons that have actually not been used yet at this current point in time at home. A small bunch of fresh herbs and a glass of water on the door of the refrigerator at home. The herbs will actually go bad in the glass of water before you actually use them in any meal today. You do not actually care about the herbs going bad before you use them at any point today. You actually like having the fresh herbs in the glass of water on the door of the refrigerator. The freezer attached to the refrigerator is actually smaller than the refrigerator, but holds prepared things, frozen meals from a brand that you actually trust in the freezer at this current point today. A container of homemade soup that you actually froze in portions for later use at home today. Some grass-fed ground beef that you actually bought in bulk to support a local rancher you know. A name that you actually mention at the dinner parties that you host at home for guests today. A pint of artisan ice cream that actually costs $8 at the store at the time of purchase. The pint of artisan ice cream is actually half full because you have been eating it slowly for 3 weeks. This refrigerator at home actually says you have crossed into a category where food is no longer fuel. Food itself is actually now part of an identity at this current point in time in your life today. The identity is actually not consumption at all in any meaningful way at this current point today. The identity itself is actually curation at this current point in time in your daily life today. You are actually not eating expensively at home because you can simply afford the more expensive food today. You are actually eating thoughtfully at home because you have begun to enjoy thinking about what you eat. The line between these 2 ways of eating expensively at home is actually thin but very real today. Most people at this level of wealth in their lives have not actually noticed which side of the line they are actually currently on at this current point in time in their daily lives going forward today. You actually open the refrigerator door at home at this current point in time today. You almost do not actually have to open the refrigerator door at any point in time today. The refrigerator at home is actually of a brand whose name implies a small culture of its own. The interior of the refrigerator is actually made of glass throughout the entire appliance today. The compartments inside of the refrigerator at home are actually precise in their construction today. There is actually a small built-in screen on the front door of the refrigerator at home today. The refrigerator actually knows what is currently inside of it at any point in time today. The refrigerator at home actually has opinions about the contents inside of it at any point today. The top shelf of the refrigerator is actually sparse in its contents at this current point today, but the sparseness of the top shelf is actually the design of the entire refrigerator today. A bottle of natural wine from a small producer in a region you actually visited last year today A jar of yuzu marmalade at home on the top shelf at this current point in time at home. A wedge of cheese on the top shelf at home with a name that you have learned to pronounce. The orange juice from level 3 of wealth is actually gone from the refrigerator at this current point. You actually stopped buying orange juice 3 years ago after you actually read something about glycemic load. The water on the top shelf is actually now from a glass bottle from a spring in a magazine article. The middle shelf of the refrigerator at home actually has fewer items than the comfortable fridge had. And the items cost actually more individually at the time of the purchase at the store today. A small block of imported butter from a country in Northern Europe at home on the middle shelf. A jar of preserves that your own housekeeper actually made on her last visit to your house today. A container of eggs that are actually from chickens that have a documented diet at the farm today. The eggs in the container actually cost $15 at the time of the purchase at the store today. You have actually stopped noticing the price of the eggs at any point in time during the purchases. The not noticing of the price is actually the specific currency of this level of wealth at home today. The produce drawers of the refrigerator are actually less full than at level 3 of wealth at home today. You have actually learned by now that overbuying produce is an inefficiency that costs you in waste. You have actually a delivery service that brings fresh produce to your house twice a week today. The produce drawers actually hold only what you need for the next 2 days of your daily life today. The fresh herbs in your house are actually now in a small herb wall in your pantry at home. The herb wall in your pantry actually has its own irrigation system installed in the wall today. The freezer attached to the refrigerator at home actually holds almost absolutely nothing today. You actually do not stockpile food at any point in time during your daily life going forward today. You actually do not buy food in bulk at the grocery store at any point in time today. You actually order what you need when you need it from sources that deliver to your home today. The freezer at home actually holds only 2 specific things at this current point in time today. A small container of espresso ice cream from a shop that you actually like in the neighborhood. A bag of imported frozen peas in the freezer because some of the old habits do not entirely die. This refrigerator at home actually says that you have begun to use money to remove inconvenience instead. Instead of using your money to accumulate possessions at home in your kitchen at this point today, the refrigerator at home is actually not full because you do not need it to actually be full today. You have actually outsourced the abundance of food to suppliers in the city around you today. The suppliers restock you at home on a schedule, so that you never actually hold the abundance yourself. The luxury at this level of wealth is actually no longer the food itself in your refrigerator today. The luxury is actually the absence of the need to think about the food until you want to eat it. You actually open the refrigerator door at home at this current point in time today. The refrigerator at home actually does not look like the refrigerators you grew up with at all today. The refrigerator at home is actually built into the cabinetry of the luxury kitchen at home today. From the outside of the refrigerator, the appliance is actually invisible in the kitchen at home today. From the inside of the refrigerator, the appliance is actually like a small room in the kitchen. The top shelf of the refrigerator actually has a single bottle on it at this current point today. The single bottle on the top shelf of the refrigerator at home is actually not a bottle of wine. It is actually a bottle of cold water in a heavy glass with no label at all on the bottle today. The water in the bottle is actually from a specific service that delivers the water weekly to home. The service for the water actually charges what most people would actually consider absurd in price today. You do not actually consider the absurd price absurd at all in any meaningful way today. You actually consider the price as the cost of actually not having to think about the water today. The middle shelf of the refrigerator at home is actually largely empty at this current point today. There are actually only 3 specific items on the entire middle shelf at home in your kitchen today. A small dish of butter that has actually been hand-rolled into a rosette by a person on staff. The person who actually arranges the kitchen for you on weekday mornings at your home today. A glass container of fresh berries that have actually been washed and hulled and ready to eat today. Ready to eat at home without any preparation needed by you at any point in time today. A jar of honey at home that is actually from a hive on a property that you own 3 states away. The honey is actually not for the guests at all, in any way at this current point in time today. The honey is actually for you yourself in the morning at home in your tea at this point today. The produce drawers of the refrigerator at home are actually nearly empty at this current point in time. The produce in the refrigerator is actually now delivered to your home every single day in the morning. The produce in the refrigerator is actually prepared at home every single day by the kitchen staff. The produce drawers in the refrigerator are actually a holding location for items used within 12 hours. The fresh herbs in your home are actually now in a glass garden in the kitchen with grow lights, and a soil sensor for the glass herb garden at home in the kitchen at this current point today. The herb garden is actually part of the home, and you did not actually install it yourself today. Someone else actually installed the entire herb garden on your behalf at home at this point today. The freezer attached to the refrigerator at home actually holds nothing you would recognize as food. The freezer at home actually holds only 2 ice molds for the kind of clear ice that does not actually water down a drink at any point in time when the ice is added to it today. A small container of frozen coffee cubes for a specific iced coffee preparation that the staff makes in the afternoon at home for you at this current point in time at home in your kitchen today. The freezer at home actually holds absolutely nothing else at this current point in time today. There is actually no bag of frozen peas at home in the freezer at this current point today. There is actually no emergency pizza in the freezer at home at this current point in time today. The emergency food category does not actually exist in this kitchen at any point in time today. Because emergencies are actually not how this kitchen at home is designed to be used today, this refrigerator at home actually says that you have moved past the use of food as identity entirely. Food at this current level of wealth is actually now just a function in your daily life at home today. The function of food in your life is actually delegated to other people at this current point. The refrigerator at home is actually essentially a small quiet stage on which the staff prepares food, on which other people actually prepare the experience of your meals at home in your kitchen today. You actually walk into the kitchen at home, and the food is actually ready for you to eat today. You actually eat the food that is ready at home, and you actually walk out of the kitchen today. The refrigerator at home is actually the prop room behind the small quiet stage in the kitchen today. You are actually no longer the actor who manages the prop room at this current point in time today. You are actually now the person that the play is actually being performed for at home today. The performance of the meal is actually for you as the audience at this current point in time today. You do not actually open the refrigerator door at home at this current point in time today. Someone else actually opens the refrigerator door for you when you have actually asked for something today. The refrigerator at home is actually one of several refrigerators in the entire house at this point. There is actually a refrigerator in the main kitchen at this current point in time at home today. There is actually a smaller refrigerator in the butler's pantry at this current point in time today. There is actually a separate wine fridge that is actually its own unit at home in the kitchen today. There is actually a bar fridge in the lounge at this current point in time at home today. There is a beverage fridge near the gym at this current point in time in your house today. There is actually a small temperature-controlled cellar in the basement at this current point today. The refrigerator has actually multiplied because the entire lifestyle requires the multiplication of fridges today. You did not actually request the multiplication of the fridges at any point in time today. The multiplication was actually built into the property when you actually acquired the property at the start. In the main kitchen refrigerator on the top shelf is actually a single small dish of caviar today. The dish of caviar was actually ordered by the chef in the kitchen for tonight at dinner at home. There is actually a bottle of mineral water and a glass on the top shelf at home today. The bottle of mineral water was actually hand-carried from a particular alpine spring to the house today. There is actually a glass container with a small portion of leftover sole from last night at home. The chef will actually repurpose the leftover sole into a lunch course tomorrow at home today. The middle shelf of the refrigerator has actually a row of small glass jars containing prepared sauces, containing prepared stocks, and prepared reductions at this current point in time in the kitchen today. All of the small glass jars are actually labeled by hand in the chef's slanted writing today. None of the labels on the jars are actually consumer products at any point in time today. All of the labels on the jars are actually descriptions of processes happening in the kitchen today. The refrigerator at home actually holds the work in progress of the kitchen at this current point. The refrigerator at home is actually not where the consumer products of an individual person live. The produce drawers in the refrigerator are actually empty most of the time at home in the kitchen. The produce in the refrigerator comes actually in twice a day in small quantities from suppliers. From a network of suppliers that the chef has cultivated over many years in the food world today. The produce moves from the supplier to the cutting board to the plate sometimes within an hour. The refrigerator is actually not where the produce lives at home at this current point in time today. The refrigerator at home is actually where the small reserves are kept in case of delivery delays, in case the next delivery from the supplier network is actually delayed at any point in time today. The freezer attached to the main kitchen refrigerator at home actually holds nothing personal today. The freezer at home actually holds only the chef's preparations at this current point in time today. Stocks frozen in cubes for cooking at this current point in time at home in the kitchen. Pastries proofed and held in the freezer at this current point in time at home in the kitchen. Small fish that actually arrived overnight at home and need to settle for 30 hours before service. Need to settle quietly in the freezer before the chef serves them at this current point today. The freezer at home is actually a tool of the kitchen at this current point in time today. The kitchen itself is actually a small department of the house at this current point in time today. The house itself is actually one of several properties that you actually own at this point today. The property is actually one of several properties in your portfolio at this current point in life today. This refrigerator at home actually says that food has actually stopped being a personal logistical concern. Food is actually now a managed function performed by a team at this current point in time today. A function performed on a schedule according to standards that you actually help to set today, but standards that you actually no longer execute yourself at any point in time during your life today. The refrigerator at home is actually just one piece of infrastructure that supports the entire lifestyle, a lifestyle that has actually outgrown the personal scale at which the question of what is in my fridge. The question of what is actually in my fridge used to be a meaningful question at all today. The question itself is actually no longer a meaningful question at this current point in time today. You actually walk into a small kitchen on a coast at this current point in time today. The kitchen is actually in a house that is not the largest house that you own at this point. The house on the coast is actually the house where you actually live in your daily life today. You actually open the refrigerator door at home yourself at this current point in time at home today. There is actually no one else in the kitchen with you at this current point in time today. There is actually no chef in the kitchen at this current point in time at home today. There is actually no staff in the kitchen at this current point in time at home today. The staff is actually at the main residence, which is 2,000 miles away at home today. You actually come to this house on the coast on weekends in your daily life at this point. You actually come to the house alone, or with your wife, or with a single old friend at home. The refrigerator at home is actually not large at this current point in time at home today. The refrigerator at home actually holds only simple things at this current point in time today. A carton of eggs that is actually from the small farm down the road from your coastal house. A pint of fresh milk from the same farm down the road in the morning at home today. A wedge of local cheese at home in the refrigerator at this current point in time today. A glass jar of raspberry jam that someone actually made for you and gave to you at home today. A single bottle of olive oil at home in the refrigerator at this current point in time today. A small dish of butter at home in the refrigerator at this current point in time at home. A small jar of capers at home in the refrigerator at this current point in time today. A loaf of bread at home on the second shelf of the refrigerator wrapped in linen the way it came. The way the baker actually hands the bread to you in linen on Saturday mornings at the bakery today. The produce drawer of the refrigerator actually holds only two specific things at this current point. A bunch of fresh basil from your own garden that you actually grow at home on the coast today. 3 tomatoes that a neighbor actually gave to you on a Wednesday afternoon at home this week. The neighbor actually would not let you pay him for the 3 tomatoes at any point today. The freezer attached to the refrigerator at home actually holds absolutely nothing at this point today. You do not actually freeze any food in this house at this current point in time today. You actually eat only what is fresh in your daily life at home, in this coastal house today. You actually buy what you will use within a single day at the store at this current point. If you actually run out of food at home, you actually walk to the small store down the road today. The walk to the small store down the road actually takes you 12 full minutes from your house. You actually enjoy the walk to the small store down the road in your daily life at home today. This refrigerator at home actually says everything that needs to be said about your wealth journey today. The refrigerator at home actually says that you have returned to the smallest possible relationship with food. The smallest possible relationship with food at home after a lifetime of accumulation of wealth today. The refrigerator at home actually holds only what you will need for today and for tomorrow today. The refrigerator at home holds actually nothing more than what you need for today and tomorrow today. The refrigerator at home is actually functionally the same size as the survival fridge from level 1 today. The contents of the level 7 fridge are actually different from the contents of the level 1 survival fridge. The discipline of the level 7 fridge is actually the same as the discipline of the level 1 fridge. The discipline at level 1 of wealth was actually forced on you by scarcity at home in your life. The discipline at level 7 of wealth was actually chosen by you in the presence of unlimited abundance. The two fridges at the beginning of your life and at the end of your wealth journey today would actually look very surprisingly similar to a complete stranger walking through your homes today. The stranger would not actually understand the truth about the two fridges at all in any way today. The stranger would actually assume that both fridges belong to a person who could not afford more food. The truth is actually that the first refrigerator belonged to a person who could not yet have more. The seventh refrigerator actually belongs to a person who has stopped wanting more food in life today. The same emptiness is actually shared between the level 1 fridge and the level 7 fridge today. Two completely opposite kinds of freedom are actually shared between the level 1 and level 7 fridges today. The refrigerator at home is actually the most honest financial document in the entire house today. The refrigerator at home does not actually perform for anyone at any point in time today. The refrigerator at home does not actually lie to you at any point in time about money today. The refrigerator at home actually holds the slow accumulated evidence of who you have been for 6 weeks. If you want to actually know which level of wealth you are actually currently at in your daily life, do not actually look at the bank account on your phone at any point in time at home today. Look actually at the top shelf of your refrigerator at home at this current point in time today. Look actually at the freezer attached to the refrigerator at this current point in time at home today. Look actually at what you bought last week and have actually not yet eaten in your daily life. The refrigerator at home will actually tell you the truth your bank account has no language for. The journey from level 1 to level 7 is actually a journey in many directions of life today. The refrigerator is actually just the part of the journey you can see without opening anything else. Subscribe to the channel for the next chapter on the rest of your kitchen and the rest of the story. The next chapter is actually about how the rest of your kitchen holds the rest of the story today.